Working the night shift at any abandoned location is a gamble. Most of the time, the worst thing you will encounter is a shaky floorboard or a family of raccoons. But every so often, a security guard stumbles into something that doesn't follow the rules of physics, something that follows them. This story was submitted by a man who asked us to call him Oliver. He lives in the Midwest. In early 2023, Oliver took a temp job providing overnight security for a shopping mall that had been shuttered since 2010. The pay was double the usual rate because, as the hiring manager put it, most guys don't last the week. Oliver found out why on his third night. Here is his account. Oliver says the mall was a ghost box. 3 stories of dead concrete, boarded up storefronts, and that specific smell of dust mixed with old grease from a food court that no longer exists. His post was a logistics shed near the loading docks. No cameras, no backup. Just a flashlight, a set of rusty keys, and a handheld radio that hissed static even when no one was transmitting. On the night in question, around 1 a.m., Oliver began his patrol through the lower corridor. He passed the carcass of an old department store, then a shoe outlet, and then he reached the section that always made his skin crawl, the old toy store. He remembered the sign immediately. Faded letters, a cartoon mascot with cracked paint. The entrance was sealed with a heavy padlock and a chain, but as Oliver raised his flashlight to the glass, he froze. From inside the darkness of that locked store, he heard music. It was faint, mechanical, tinny, the sound of an old music box playing a melody he didn't recognize. Slow, deliberate. The kind of tune that feels like a lullaby but sits wrong in your chest. Oliver stood there for 10 seconds, trying to rationalize it. A battery dying? A toy left on the floor? But the store had been locked since 2010. Batteries don't last 13 years. He decided to turn back. He told himself he was tired. He told himself it was the wind. But as he pivoted toward the logistics shed, he looked up at the main atrium. That is when things stopped making sense. Oliver says the mall had been running on emergency backup lighting for years. Weak yellow bulbs, nothing more. But at 1:15 a.m., he watched every single fluorescent light on the second floor corridor flicker to life. Not a power surge, not a brownout. They turned on one by one, like someone was walking down the hallway, flipping a switch. And then the store signs started to glow. First the pizza place, then the clothing outlet, then the jewelry kiosk. One after another, the old neon and LED signs blazed to life. Hot pink, electric blue, sickly green. The whole atrium lit up like it was Black Friday 2009. But Oliver says the worst part wasn't the lights, it was the sound. A low roar began to fill the empty space. The sound of 100 conversations, shoes squeaking on tile, cash registers beeping, children laughing. It was the exact audio frequency of a packed shopping mall during peak hours, except there was no one there. He was standing in the middle of a ghost crowd. His legs went weak. He tried to move, but his boots felt like they were glued to the floor. That is when he looked at the display windows of the clothing stores. The mannequins. Every single mannequin in every single window had turned its head. Oliver described it as watching a video game glitch in real life. The mannequins didn't move smoothly. They twitched, jerky stop-motion movements. Their plastic arms raised at unnatural angles, their necks craned forward. And worst of all, their faces. They were smiling. Not the blank, dead stare of a store mannequin. These were wide, toothy grins, the kind of smile that doesn't reach the eyes, because these things didn't have eyes, just dark sockets. One of them pressed its face against the glass from the inside. Oliver heard a soft tap, 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 like a fingernail against the window. He ran. He sprinted toward the emergency exit at the far end of the corridor. His flashlight bounced off the walls, throwing wild shadows everywhere. He grabbed his radio to call for help. He pressed the button. But he wasn't transmitting. The radio was already on, and it was receiving. From the static, a voice cut through. Not a human voice. It sounded like a recording played backward and then forward again. Choppy, distorted. But the words were clear enough to stop his heart. "Welcome. What would you like to buy today?" A pause. "Welcome. What would you like to buy today?" It looped, over and over. The same friendly retail greeting, twisted into something that sounded like a prayer. Oliver threw his shoulder into the emergency exit bar. The alarm did not sound. The door flew open. He stumbled into the parking lot, gasping for air. He didn't look back. He stripped off his uniform shirt right there on the asphalt and threw it into a dumpster. Then the radio. Then the keys. He got in his car and drove home without turning on the interior light. Oliver says he blocked the HR department's number the next morning. He never went back for his final paycheck. He refuses to drive past that road. He says if you listen closely to the static between radio stations late at night, you can still hear them asking you the same question. He sent us one final audio recording. He made it on his phone about an hour after he got home. He wanted someone to have it in case, well, listen for yourself.
Hey, it's me. I don't know who else to send this to. I made it out. I'm in my apartment, but my ears are still ringing. That music, that damn music box melody, I can't get it out of my head. And the mannequins. When I was running, when I looked back through the glass one last time, they weren't in the windows anymore. They were standing in the hallway, in the dark, just waiting. I just heard something scratch my front door. I don't keep a mannequin in my house.
The mall remains abandoned today. Local teenagers refuse to go near it. Security companies cycle through guards every few weeks, and none of them last. But the story doesn't end with Oliver, because 3 days after he sent us that audio, we tried to contact him for a follow-up. His phone number was disconnected, his social media accounts deleted, and a user on a paranormal forum claimed they saw a new mannequin in the window of an old toy store in that same mall. A mannequin that looked exactly like a tired security guard holding a radio. It is easy to dismiss these stories as hallucinations or power surges. It is easy to tell yourself that a shopping mall is just concrete and glass. But the next time you walk past a department store window after dark, take a good look at the figures inside. Count their fingers. And if you hear a music box playing from a room that should be empty, do not run toward the lights. The lights are where they want you. Stay safe, stay paranoid, and never work the night shift alone.